What's up, party people? Gonna see how this thing do. It's already looking a little sketchy. A little like the connection is bad. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it looks a little sketchy. Looks a little sketchy there. Connection might not be all that great out here. Yeah, I'm sitting in some traffic, y'all. Oh, goodness. I know I got that one at 7. I already got the docks prep. Glad I put some more gas in the car and and everything. So yeah, I had to put some more gas in the car, y'all, and all that good stuff. So let's see here what we got going on. So what's going on with y'all party people? I know folk at work. I just figured I'd hop on live and chop it up with y'all. When you come in, just let me know where you're from and everything. Whether you from Virginia Beach or Norfolk or Kansas, where y'all from? Where are the party people from today? So figured I'd hop on here. I was gonna just do a video, but figured I'd hop on here and just talk about a little bit of some experiences that I had this week. It's been interesting. This week, overall, okay, everybody trying to skip up. There are still some real estate deals going on. What we got going on, man? Well, from Gilroy, California. All right, Tennessee. Yep, Miss Goodwin. So there are still real estate deals going on out here. You just got to be ready to hop on them when they come. This week has been real strange where on one end it's been slow, but on the other end there's been a lot of orders that I've seen, and I know that's hard to explain, but it's like it'll be real quiet and then all of a sudden like 5 or 6 orders will come in, and then you're sitting there like, okay, cool, and then you grab as much what you can based on your schedule, and they'll be for like in the next 3 days. So 3 days from now, and then on the day of, what I've been seeing, there'll be some more orders come out for that day, but they will all be for around the same time that you already got a signing. And in most cases, some for whatever, they are paying more. So it can be frustrating. Like, I see more orders, but I can't get more because all of them are for the same day. So you'll sit there and basically see 8 orders for the same day, and 90% of them are for the same time period. And it's like, and then when they're coming in after you've already accepted an order, it wouldn't be right on the day of to cancel a $100 order for $125 or $85 for a $100 order. That just wouldn't be right to do. So I don't do that kind of stuff. But it can be somewhat frustrating sometimes. And thank y'all for hitting the like button. It can be somewhat frustrating, when you're doing this full time and you're trying to get started, and or not trying. I mean, trying to get as many orders as you can to bring in that revenue that you want, and you can't. It's like, the orders, and then what makes it worse is that the order gets canceled. The order that you're on gets canceled, so you can't go back and like, oh, hey, now I'm ready to take that $100 order because I'm available. Those things have been happening this week, really this month, and that's why I said it's been slow. But then there's been a lot of orders popping out there just at weird times. Like I got one tomorrow at 6:15, like 6 o'clock tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Yep, I got one tomorrow at 6 o'clock, but then another order came in for 6:15. a very odd time, but it came in for 615, paying 150, and I'm already booked, and I already confirmed with the lady, and I can't, and there's no way I can squeeze it in. So I told him, I said, hey, I'm available, at a different time, and I told him, I said, I'm already booked at 6, but I can knock it out, at another time. They didn't get back with me. They found someone else. But that's been the thing. And I'll be honest with y'all, I try to tell the companies that work with me, I'm like, look, even if y'all got a whiff, if you got a whiff that you're going to have a signing next week and you really want me to do it, go ahead on and tell me. Just give me a hint, just like, hey, just whisper in my ear so I can make myself available. And I have a few companies that will, they'll let me, hey, we might have something coming up next week or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, and I'm willing to make that time slot available. And I will say 98% of the time the order comes through. They're like, okay, boom, they send it out, and then I'm able to get it. So there's some companies that they do want me to do their orders for them, but I'm already booked, and they're like, okay, now we're going to say, and I know they busy, got other stuff, so they can't just think about Griff. But maybe in the quiet time of the night when they're sipping some brandy or drinking some hot cocoa or whatever they do, they're like, hey, I need to let Griff know. Whoo! But one of the things that I've been noticing also this week is people are really in desperation for the money that's coming back to them on either a refi or a sale of a house. And there have been a couple of people that have been selling houses. They've been selling the house, and they've been selling the house, and they're like, okay, so when is this money gonna come? And you have to be real smart about this. You gotta be calm, and thanks for hitting the like button, y'all. I really appreciate that y'all hitting the like button. And if you got any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll be glad to answer them, because I got this long drive to get to UPS. I got to go over into this area called Hampton for a 7 p.m. signing. And yeah, I'm driving over there at 5:06 to get over there for 7 o'clock, because the traffic ain't no joke right now. The traffic is talking about, for a 15-minute drive to go to FedEx to drop these documents, it's going to take me 40. So I already knew, so I said, let me hop on the road and get going over there, and I'll scan once I get over there and then drop it off to FedEx. But what I've been noticing, and this is what you got to pay attention to, if you have somebody that's all of a sudden questioning you about how fast are you going to get, when they're going to get the money, you don't know. You honestly don't know. They're asking you, so are you going to ship the documents or scan them? I'm going to scan and ship. Okay. So how long that's going to take? That lets you know that person is really, really, best word is desperate or in need of getting this done, because they're worried about how fast they're going to get the proceeds coming back, whether it's through a refinance and they pulling a buttload of money out, 100,000, 200,000. I mean, I seen people pulling out 220K this week, so they pulling out 220K. They want to know how fast it's going to happen. That is a signing for the 17th coming in. And that is, no, today is the 17th. Oh, ASAP, 145 pages, single loan, email docs. I can't do it because it says ASAP, and I know I'm not in an ASAP role right now, because I can't do it, and I'm leaving the city that they want it done in, so somebody else will have to hop on that. So I just have to tell them I am not available. And see, this is what I'm saying, y'all. It was for, it's for $75, 145 pages. This company, that's what they always pay. So this company, that's all they pay, 75. Okay, they only pay 75. I'm on my way to do something. I can't, and they're like, they need it done now. So, and then what's worse is that this is the this time of the day for my area, it's traffic, it's backups everywhere. And I'm not talking about like a 1 mile, but I'm talking about like 4 or 5 mile backups. Something that's gonna take you 15 minutes is gonna take you 40. So even if I was to go home, I really can't get to the people, because by the time, it's just not gonna happen because of all the traffic. So this is where I'm saying things are real tight right now for as being able to take multiple orders. It's been harder. I'll be honest with you, it's been harder. But back to what I was saying, even with the couple that I just left, they're doing a loan application, and it seems like it's always the ladies of the house. The ladies are always like, okay, so when this money gonna be here? When is this? Now this is just the application, and she's like, so how fast is it gonna take them to process this? And then this is where you have to be like, I don't work for them, ma'am. I'm independent. I don't know. Don't say understand. I don't know their process, because if you say understand, it's like you know it, but it's confusing. So you say, I don't know their process, but feel free to always reach out to your loan officer or any other representative you've been communicating with, and they'll be more than happy to tell you how long ... will take. So again, that's why it's important to have at least, even though you don't have a printer with you, a scanner, so that you can scan the documents and then get them on back to the people and all of that, stuff, and then you go drop them off. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. And sometimes, it sort of chokes me up, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you, because these are people my age or older, and you can tell, like one couple, they themselves weren't in financial need, but they had a son that was, and they wanted to make sure that they helped take care of their son. They was getting a good lump sum of money back from the sale of a property, and they really want to make sure that they can assist their son, help their child out. And that's what parents do. That's how parents are, so their child needs help, and this opportunity for them to sell a property that was in their family came along, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go do this. And I know my connection might be a little janky right now, y'all, so just bear with me. I'm out here on this water over this bridge, so sometimes T-Mobile will be acting up over the over water. So if it's a little janky, just hang in there with me. Don't roll out. I just got to get through this tunnel, and on the other side, I'm over there into the promised land and everything. So, and you say, when Winnie Pinnell said that, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So it's a lot. There are orders still out there. I think I'm at about 40 for the month so far, and this is just the 17th. And when I'm saying 40, when I get the numbers, I'm talking about what I'm already done and going to do. I'm already booked for that amount, so that's good. I'm still pushing to do 60, 70 a month. I did 60 last month. Yeah, that was a lower month for me. Not the lowest this year. I've been averaging 70. My average probably dropped down to maybe 68 because of that. But, people, they still need us. They still need us. 40, nice, yeah. Yeah, 40 is good, and this is a hard 40. I mean, I'm scrapping to get 40. I'm talking about that 40 includes a $20 signing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why I keep telling y'all, just go out here and take whatever you can so that you can make the money. That $20 here, that's, I think the one that I just did was 75. They all add up. That's why I was so upset that I couldn't do that 150. Because I was like, man, if I could do that 150, that would have been sweet. I had a couple of orders yesterday that was 125 and 150. So that is the game that we out here working, and it can take a little bit of time for y'all to build up to that. But even though I've been in this 5 years, I will still do a order or orders that are priced below $100. Why? Because I'm trying to hit a particular dollar amount. What's my dollar amount? $7,000. I'm trying to hit $7,000 a month. And if I can do that, I'm good. Really, overall, between everything that I do, I'm looking for 10. So my 10 doesn't have to come strictly from notary. minimum that I want from notary is 6, but ideally 7, honestly 8. So if I can pull in 8 from notary, that's good. And it's hard right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard, you know, to pull in 8,000, you know, given the orders that are out there and the prices that they're offering. But here's the thing. This is my business. I'm not doing this to brag or to get kudos from anybody on the internet. I'm trying to pull in the money to take care of the family. So when you're trying to brag and trying to get, you know, kudos and pats on the back from all these people you really don't know, is it to the detriment of your family? Because sometimes you're trying to do all of that for bragging rights, and you really aren't making the money that you should because you're just passing up on things. I mean, just imagine if somebody is pulling in 10 grand a month, but they could have pulled in 12 or 13 if they would have took some of those below $100 orders. What's wrong with doing that? I mean, I would rather have 13. You know, a couple of months ago, I did, you know, I was fortunate enough to do 8. And that paid off for when I had a month that I did less than 6,000. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm like, shoot, okay, I'm pulling in as much as I possibly can. You know, would you say how many days, hours? There's no set number. See, that's the thing with this. It's not about working it like a W-2, like, okay, I'm gonna do 8 hours a day to get $8,000. It's really, you have to get in. The best way to do it is, what is the average fee that you see coming through in your area? And then you multiply it, you divide that by 8,000. What's going on, Caprinas? The thing, so as I've always shared, the way I decided that I could go full time is, at the time I was looking at going full time in this business, the average fee was $85. I calculated that I needed 6,000 to be able to do this business full time. And that was before the pandemic and all this craziness, high interest rates, high everything, inflation. So I've calculated that I would need to do about 70 signings minimum at $85 to get my $6,000 or close to it. About really came out to either 71 or 72. So it's really about what is your dollar amount, and then you divide that by the dollar amount that you see on average. So you see some 150s, this, that, and the other. So if you're seeing $80 on average, you know, the average fees are coming in for $80, you know, then that's how many you need to do. So you have to figure out, and because we can't control it now. If you're working for a title company or somebody and you got direct money coming in, you know, they're gonna boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's a lot easier to calculate. And then, but then the question becomes, does that direct client have $8,000 of business for you each month? If they do, what's going on, Erica? If they got $8,000 a month coming in for you, wonderful. I'm serious, wonderful. Then you got to figure out, where can I get the other amount that's not there anymore to me? So it's really not so much about how many hours a week, because that goes into a W-2 version of trying to be a business owner by saying, okay, well, if I work this many hours, I'll get this much pay. It's not like that out here. You know, when it comes to the business, it's not about trading dollars for hours. It's, let me go out here, I need this dollar amount, and this is what's coming in. How much of this can I do? Because not every order takes you hours to do. Some of them you get in and get out, and you can make $100 on a 10-page assignment. So it's hard to calculate that. You go do a closing and they actually have the documents already. So if they already got the documents, you ain't have to print anything, and they just called you and said, hey, the customer has the documents, we just need you to swing by and do it. So that's why it's hard to actually do, you know, look at this from a, I'm going to I'm going to try to do this, based on a set amount of hours is going to equal a set amount of money. I mean, if you can pull that off, more power to you. I haven't, the time you got to spend in like what I'm doing, all of those little things. That's why a lot of notaries won't prep the documents, because what they're doing is, oh, my connection might be a little bad, y'all. A lot of notaries won't prep the documents because they're sitting there counting the number of hours that they're doing that, and like, well, I'm not getting paid for this, so they don't want to do it. So they're trying to have a thing of, they're trying to calculate it like, I made $35 an hour, as if it's a W-2. I made $40 an hour today doing this work. I only put in this amount. And the question then becomes, do you really understand what entrepreneurship is? Because if you understand what entrepreneurship is, you know that it's not about trading, like I did so many hours and then, I did 40 hours a day, $40 an hour. That's not what it's about. It's about you actually, and thank y'all for hitting the like button. Oh man, only got 9 likes. Come on, y'all. We got 41 people and only 9 likes. I mean, you got to be something that I done said so far. Y'all liked at least a little bit and everything. Okay, now it done dropped down to 33. Must be a lag. Okay, there got to be something that I like that y'all say. At least y'all like my beard. Something. You like my wife. My wife is cool. Mrs. G cool and all of that good stuff. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on, my man Frank from Lower Alabama. I don't try to calculate it based on how many hours per week. I've never done that with this business. That's the key there. I'm still treating it. Yeah, because I'm telling you, this is different. This is different. See, most notaries won't try to come over. Well, they wouldn't have taken the order to Hampton like I'm doing. If y'all was to look at Virginia Beach and then where Hampton is, they wouldn't have taken the order, because I already knew I was going to be in traffic. So that means I'm going to be over here about basically an hour and a half ahead of time. I already know that. I'm fine with that. This is going to be my last one for the night. I don't even know how much I'm getting paid for this one. That's a good question. How much am I getting paid? If I'm doing it, it must be something decent with the pay that I'm getting with this. So let me check real quick. Because if I'm doing it, going over here, it got to be something good with the pay. I'm only getting 75. I don't even know why I took it there. 75, but it's not that bad. And it's been a while since I've done one for these people. So, and I think I probably did it because I was like, it's tight and want nothing coming in. So I was like, bump it, I'm gonna just take it. And plus my policy is, if I do the Hampton area when there's like 7 o'clock at night and stuff like that, because it's a lot less traffic coming back home and stuff. So the whole key thing is, people, we have a great business that we're in, and everybody wants to try to make money. Everybody wants it done right. The signing companies, the title companies, and are having a hard time trusting individuals who they don't have control over. And the lender doesn't have control over the title doesn't have control over the signing company, and the signing doesn't have control over us. We're all independent businesses trying to find a way to work together with each other to get the job done, which means there needs to be better communication. There needs to be much more respect given. The notaries need to make sure we're doing our part correctly, which is what? Doing the closings correctly. And making sure that you are not going above and beyond what you're supposed to be doing and messing up closings. So if we do our part correctly, then that should foster a better relationship between us and the title. But then the title company, I mean the signing companies, those owners got to be willing to say, okay, you know what? Let me trust them, but then put something in place where you fostering trust and not trying to treat us like employees when we're not. I think a lot of it is just respect, better communication. Case in point, I did a signing yesterday, and by the time they did you gotta do the, you gotta to give you the approval. I was on my way to my next appointment, and they were like, you need to drop the documents ASAP. And I'm like, okay, I don't need you to talk to me like that. ASAP, like I'm your employee. I'm like, that ain't really the way to do it. So I already knew the FedEx pickup where I was at had already passed. Had already called and checked, and they were like, nope, they're already gone. So as I was going to my other appointment, I realized that there was a UPS store out that way. So I took a chance and looked it up real quick and found out their pickup is at 6. It was 5:30. I was like, okay, let me swing by there. So I contacted the company back and told them what was going down. Nobody contacted me back like, hey, good job, thank you, we really appreciate it. Nothing. But let me had not taken the effort to find a place, it would have been like, well, we're going to blacklist you, going to take money from you, and that's the thing that a lot of notaries are telling me they don't understand is why it's like you get an order and it's like, if you're a minute late, you're going to be docked, you're going to be money, $1 for every minute you're late going to be taken away. And it's like all of these threats, and sometimes, and that's not how it should be. When you work in business to business, we should be able to have some respect and some trust with each other. And then again, if the notaries are trained properly in how to conduct business, how to do their job, understanding the importance of what we do, because I guarantee you there's a lot of notaries, if you ask them about the importance we're doing, they will flat out tell you they don't really care and they don't understand. They're just out here trying to make money. So when you have people marketing to pull people into a business so that they can have somebody to sell their course, a person to sell their courses to, you're just getting a warm body coming into this business, and you're not even caring about whether they're going to do the business right. And then you have the effects of what we see out here. So we have a great opportunity to do things right, and that's why I always encourage y'all that if you see a notary doing wrong, yes, you need to reach out to them. There are people out here who don't believe in it, and that's fine. But you can't get upset with the person for doing wrong and just telling them go take training. Not designed to help you not make those mistakes. They say they are, but they're not. So almost there at my place. It actually took a lot less than I thought. So I know I sound like I'm ranting again. I know I'm like Griff ranting again, but I just know makes sense. That makes for answering. Thank you for answering. I'm new to the business. Okay, I figure you're new to the business. Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you right now. Who's that from? Denise. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Here's this. A lot of people in this industry, if you really listen to them, they're not talking about you being a true business owner. A lot of the ways that you're trained by some of these trainers, it's to be an employee. This in a live a couple of weeks ago. You think about it. You're being told to go to a title office and market yourself as if you are there you're a business owner, but you're coming there to market yourself as if you're somebody who can do what the W-2 escrow officer can do. Why would you as a business owner market yourself to a company and say, I'm here to be your employee? Because that's essentially what you're saying. And I peeped that from day one that I got in this business. A lot of the training out there when you really listen to it, it's designed to do what? Have you operate as a W-2 for these people. It's preparing you. You think you're operating as a business owner, but it's really preparing you to be an employee minded person for this escrow officer just under the 1099 banner. Now if I'm incorrect in that assessment based off of what I've seen in the last 5 years, at any point in time, feel free to correct me publicly, privately. I don't care, because that's what I've been seeing based on some of the training. And thank you, Ms. Goodwin. That's what I see with some of the training out there. When I listen to what they're focusing on teaching us to do with the documents, it's more like we're acting as if we're their employee, and we're an extension of what their employees aren't able to do because they're not going out in the field doing the closings. So they're like, we need the notaries to go out there, and we want the notaries to perform in such a way as if they are like our employees, but we're not paying them as employees. That's when it gets a little creepy for me. What are y'all thoughts on that? I mean, that's what I picked up when I first got in this business. When I sat there and looked at a lot of different people putting stuff up, showing how they do things and all of that, and I'm like, are we really supposed to be doing that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh. And then you hear the word, yeah, we're just working to, coming in and helping them and taking the burden off of them. I'm like, okay, what burden is on them that we need to pull off? They have a job to do. We have a job to do. They do their job. I do my job. But now you're saying I have to relieve them of some kind of burden. I'm like, okay, are they going to pay me some burden relief pay? If they're not paying me accordingly to relieve their burden, then that becomes a problem. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I might be seeing this all wrong. And I know my connection probably all jacked up now. I might be seeing this all wrong, and that's why I come on here sometimes to talk about it, just to throw it out there, because, it's like, okay, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But we're business owners. And when we work with another company to provide service, we're supposed to operate as an independent business owner, and they're independent, and we've come to an agreement as to how we're going to work together. They have their operations inside. I have my operations inside my business. And unless I'm going to be a contractor hired to be inside, and even if I'm independent, there's certain ways I have to work to keep them out of trouble, because if they're treating me like an employee, the federal government hops in there like, you got to offer that person certain benefits because you're treating them as if they are an employee. So, and that's federal law. It's not trying to be sneaky or trying to start a ruckus or anything. It's law that if you hire somebody as a W-2, they get certain benefits and privileges that independent contractors don't. And I'm fine with that, because as an independent contractor, you're saying, I want to be independent of the W-2 lifestyle and operate in such a way that I have a certain level of freedom. And if that's the case, then why would you market yourself as if you can go back in there and play around as a W-2? Before you relieve them of their burdens, you must first bring an offering. Yeah, they talk. Yeah. And I'm going to say this here, and then I got to hop in here and get these scans done. What time is it? Okay, 5:30. Okay, good. Here's the deal. Hold on, let me park my car in a different spot so I ain't looking all crazy. Park over here. Should have better lighting over here. All right, yeah, that's better. All right, here's the deal. When you're giving somebody a gift, you're asking them to give you something back in return. It's like, hey, I'm giving you this here cookies, donuts, and ice cream. And guess what? What I want in return is for you to hook me up with some work. And it recently dawned on me. I'm like, if the training that I took was all of that, to the point that I should be able to, hold on, let me check something. Okay, I'm just checking my connection. If the training that I took was all of that, then that should be enough for me to tell somebody, hey, I took Fred's training, I took Janice's training. If there's a Janice out there, I ain't picking on you, or Fred. I took Griff's training or whoever's training, and that should resonate enough for them to say, I'm gonna give you a job. Because when you go for your job interview, I'm gonna give you some opportunities to work. When you do a job interview, you don't go there with cookies and ice cream and stuff like that. You go there with your resume to say, hey, guess what? I went to MIT. They hear MIT, they hear Berkeley, they use University of California, Berkeley, they hear Notre Dame, they hear certain colleges, and they're like, okay, yeah, we got a good one here. So, and I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I know some people are gonna be pissed off at me. But if the training was all that, I should never have to go dig in my pocket to pay somebody to give me some work. I should never have to bribe somebody, because essentially that's, some people down in Georgia was telling me that down there in Georgia, some people, they look at that as a bribe, that you're actually trying to coerce that person as a official of the state, because before you're a signing agent and all that stuff, you are an official of the state, and you're asking them to give you some hookups based, to get more work out of them. That's a slippery slope. I'm not one to beg anybody for anything. I never begged a woman to be my lady. I'm not begging somebody to give me a loan closing. So I don't beg anybody for anything. I will state my case, and I will let you decide whether or not you want to roll with me. If you want to roll with me, we cool. If you don't, I respect that. I just move on to the next person, because I know once you realize I should have kicked it with Griff instead of with these other cats, then the price is gonna be higher. And that's just business, okay? But when you think about it, training should be to the point that when I go to execute the job that I'm doing, I don't need to ask somebody for help. If I got to ask somebody after taking training, irregardless of the cost of it, how to do my job, there's a problem. If I can't go in and tell somebody I took such and such training, and that person looks at me and said, wow, we are so happy you took that training. Yeah, we got work for you. Come on in. If that ain't happening, then the question is, what was the purpose of the training? And I'm not saying you can't do training. I'm not saying that folk can't train. But the thing is, has the trainer actually gotten the word out about who they are and what they train people in to every single escrow officer and title officer and lender out here? And the answer is no. And there's no way they're going to do that. And even if they somehow did, what if that escrow officer or whoever they contacted says, I ain't feeling that. I looked at it, I ain't driving with that. I don't like that. I don't like that what you teach now. I'm not down with that. So now what? You roll up in there, you say, I took Fred's training, I took Earl's training, I took, Shaquanda's training or whoever. And they're like, what's interesting about that group is I believe that's what actually happens with signing services. That is true. And many signing services have told me that. That's why I tell y'all, don't put people's training in your profile. And if you think about it, if the only thing the trainer is telling you to put in your profile is their training and nothing else that you have done or that you understand, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. I'm getting hot out here. I got to turn that AC back on. That is a huge problem that the trainer is saying, only put the fact that you took my training. That's good enough. Is it? Where's the proof that it's good enough? It might be good enough in your neck of the woods, but it might not be good enough in mine. You get what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. And again, I know people, because people are sensitive, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you don't like so and so's training." I've only taken one. I haven't taken everybody else's. But what I do know is this. A lot of the other trainers, people, they come to me for help in the areas that they don't train them in. And my thing is this. How would you feel if you sent your child to go to a particular college to learn a particular skill, and when they came out, now your son or daughter got to go pay money to actually learn how to do the job? I'm gonna look over here. I don't want y'all to think I'm, and stuff. I'm gonna just look over here. The reality is, if you actually, your spouse, your husband, your wife, the one you love comes home saying, I just graduated, got a diploma from whatever, and then they go to get a job and they're like, well, I really don't know how to do the job that I'm supposed to get hired for. So, babe, I'm gonna have to take out another loan, maybe we need to ask your rich uncle again for some more money so I can go learn how to do what the heck did you go to school for? I mean, this is just the reality of it. And again, this is not trying to throw shade on anybody, but this is about being a smart business owner. Smart business owners sit there and say, okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna take this training, and when I finish this training, I should be able to execute, boom. And you can tell that the people can't execute it because of what they ask and post in Facebook. Give me a number one. Please, people, do this. Give me a number one in the chat if you've seen this month somebody posting a question about how to notarize the document. And put a number two in there if you've seen that and you know that person has taken training. So if you just seen somebody, you might not know who they are, what training, you just seen somebody, oh, they put a question about how to do, and I'm gonna answer that in the question being life, how to do notary stuff. And then if you know that they took training, whether it's the same training you took or somebody else's training, they took training, but they're still asking a question on how to notarize documents and do that part of it. Ain't talking about presenting documents, just how to notarize, do the job of a notary. Put a number two. Number one, because you've seen those questions. Number two, you've seen the question and you know that person has taking not the California training. Thank you, Caprinas. We'll give a bypass of state-sponsored training, non-state sponsored training. If they've taken non-state sponsored training, although they should know it if they've taken the state sponsored, but we'll give them a pass on that. Okay, we'll give them a pass on their state-sponsored training. So if they took state-sponsored training, but they're non-state sponsored training, stuff that you've seen out here in the atmosphere and all of that, and that becomes a problem. That's a huge problem that they're doing that. Now of course some people ain't gonna want to answer, but thank you, the three of y'all. Now, why is it necessary to have an LLC? A lot of people are going to push back on what I'm about to say. I think if you're a business owner, you should have an LLC. There are a lot of people out there, they say you only need an LLC if you are making $100,000 a month. I mean, $100,000 a year. If you're making that kind of money, $100,000, sorry about that. If you're making $100,000 or more, then you need an LLC. Okay. And they said LLC is for limited liability protection. It's a limited liability company, and this limited is to protect you for different little things. Okay. Are the issues that you need protecting from only applicable once you make $100,000? If the issues that you're concerned that you might need protecting from are only applicable when you hit $100,000, then get an LLC at that point. If any of the things that the LLC protects you from are applicable or could come up prior to you making $100,000 and you would need that kind of protection, then why not go and get the protection now? Why not get set up for it now and work your way up? Because we understand this about human beings. If they don't, sometimes if you don't already have something established in your life, you won't be moved and motivated to go for it. So I'm pushing forward to go for the $100,000 a year. And I know that it said that most people say, well, you need an LLC. Once you get an LLC, you make that 100,000. That's when you need it. So how about I push myself and motivate myself by getting the LLC? Now, if you're in California, I know the LLC is cheap the first year and 800 the next, as well as other places. So, but to me, that should be motivation, because if you go out there and you take $800 orders, maybe 12 $80 orders, guess what? You done made your $800 or so. I might be off on the math on the $80, but you made your money by going out there and making the money that you need to make to pay your fee for the next year. That's a part of business. If you're trying to be a business without spending money being a business, if you're trying to be a business and cut corners, if you're trying to be a business without, on a shoestring all the time, then you just be a sole proprietor and run the risk of whatever. I think it's necessary to have an LLC when you're doing business. When you're doing business, that's why I think it's necessary to have an LLC. Look, you want stuff protected, and if it can be protected through that avenue, then go for it. But there's going to be arguments from people that's going to be very convincing and saying you don't need to have that. They'll tell you they don't have it. They're never going to do it, and that's them. But you need to look at the risk for yourself, talk to your accountant, and ask them why you should have it, because you just never know. Here's the thing. You're not going to be exonerated from a $1 to $999,000. They're not going to say, well, because you're not an LLC, we're not going to come at you. We'll wait till you hit 100,000 and become an LLC, then we'll come at you for what you did. Yeah, you write off all of that. You write off, that's a business expense. That's why it's important to get with an accountant. If you look at my business interview playlist, I got a playlist called Business Interviews. My accountant, Rob Turner, he's nationwide. He can work with anybody in any state. He'll tell you all of those things. He'll have a free consultation with you to help you understand all of that. Just tell him you saw him, you saw him on Griffin Notary Channel. He'll work with you. But you got to look at, what are you trying to do with your business? And that's why I've been saying lately, run your business as if social media doesn't exist. The question is, would you run your business the way that somebody on the internet is telling you to run your business? And that includes what I'm saying, if that person wasn't out there talking. Would you go and try to market yourself with cookies and ice cream had you not heard somebody say, go do that? That's the question. And that's the question that I asked myself back in 2018. I heard the stuff that people were saying, and I was like, that ain't me. I wouldn't do that. I don't think I should be marketing that way. So if I don't believe I should be marketing that way, then why would I go and market that way? You get what I'm saying? So I don't think that's a good marketing strategy. I don't think that's a marketing strategy that I've seen in any books, marketing business books at all. And I got some at home where they say, go there with cookies and gifts and all. They don't say that. You go there and you show them how you can help them make money and save money and present yourself. See, that's what people aren't doing. When you go to the title office, you're not presenting yourself as a solution. To me, when you go there begging for work, you're presenting yourself as a problem. If you want to do that, I mean, what's the point of giving them pens at an office? They already got notepads and pens. Now the marketing, if you're marketing to them, but the question becomes, I'm giving pads and pens to who? To the general public? That makes sense. To think of you when they need a notary. That's what you have. Okay, I mean, I get it. But now here's the thing. Just imagine there's 30 other notaries in your area doing the same thing. The thing is, sometimes words are more of an impression than a card. Sometimes you letting them know, I'm here for you. I understand your struggle. I understand that y'all are looking for notaries to do. What is it that you're looking for out of a notary? Try that approach. Ask them, what is it that y'all need notaries to do? How available do you need your notaries to be? Okay, I can accommodate that, because after they seen, they got the notepad, Earl's signing service. Okay. Or Earl's notary services. Gotcha. Earl, can you? Oh, nah, I'm not really available at this time or that time. They stop thinking about you. You need to find out whether or not they're going to call you at a time that you really aren't available. You see what I'm saying? So you got to really think this. I want them on, I want to be on their mind. Okay. But when they call you, how are you answering the phone? Hello? Hello? Oh, is this Earl? Yeah, this Earl. What's going on? Okay, you don't sound like a business. All right, let me get out of here, y'all. My phone is down to 15% power, and then I think somebody just posted a question. It said, not all states sponsor training, that right? Sponsored, thankful. Yep, the NNA. But think of it outside the box. Hear what the other people are saying. I get what the trainers are trying to do, but remember, if the majority of the people in your area has taken the same trainer, they're doing the same thing. What is your differentiator? That's one of the things they teach you in marketing, in doing a resume, is showing a differentiation. How do you differentiate yourself from them? One of the ways that I differentiated myself when I used to be out there interviewing for my W-2s was, tell me what problem you need solved. I would ask the interviewer that, and they're like, oh, well, really, this is what we need. And at that point, I knew whether or not that was something that I could do or should be doing, because I'm sitting there like, they got all these different requirements and things in on their thing, but I don't really know what this job is all about. So what is this job all about? What is it? What is the core of what you want a person to do? And then they're like, well, really, this is what we want. Yeah, we got all of these skills and things we want y'all to have in training, but honestly, this is what we want. We want these 3 things. Can you do these 3 things? Now we down to the core of it. I can do those 3 things. How do you want it done? What are these 3 things you need done for a notary? When do you need us available? What about weekends? Do you need us on the weekends? I can accommodate that for you. You need me to travel? How far out? 10 minutes, an hour? I can accommodate that for you. Now the question becomes, will anybody else be able to accommodate that? And if they can't, because now what I just do, I just dropped in their mind questions they need to ask the next notary that comes in behind me. So, Frederico, can you do it this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Nah, I can't do. Nah. Okay, thank you. We'll keep you in mind. Where that trash can at? No, Frederico. If you want them to keep you on your mind, let them know that you there to solve their problem. Averaging 40 plus signings a month in these notary streets. I'm coming for your numbers. Thank you. Yeah. This is what it's all about, people. All right, let me go, because y'all know I could keep going and going and going. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for hitting the like button. Yeah, they'll throw it in the trash can. You appreciate it. Look, feel free to look at the video again. Look at the other videos. Hit the like button, all of that good stuff. If y'all see a video out there that y'all really, really like, that y'all really think added value, just consider hitting a super thanks down there. Throw $1 or $2 towards your man. I appreciate that. It helps support the channel and all that good stuff. I'll be straight, I don't need it, but some people like to show their generosity, so that's a way to do it. All right, that's a way to do it, but it ain't gonna stop me from giving y'all good content and doing what I do if I don't get $1. All right, so I'm gonna hop in here, do this scan, and I might do a video of me scanning if I can, if the internet connection is good. But y'all be easy, and if nothing gets in the way, I'll be doing Fritter Friday tomorrow, and we can chop it up some more and get some more questions answered and all that kind of good stuff. All right, y'all have a good one. Peace.